you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest guests?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Butte.
What's up, Brian Deegan here.
Vaughn Ginn Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, Rigid Industries, Dirtfish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR IndyCar? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys even learned to ride, Ami Houde.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Ami Houde, like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Doing things a little bit different today in the studio. We are kicking off our national syndication with Sports Byline USA. That's right. The show clock going to change a bit, so you longtime listeners, it's going to be a little bit of a change of pace for you, but different breaks here and there. But you'll get the swing of things. This is definitely good news for action motorsports and off-road. But today, a stacked lineup. We've got Best in the Desert Parker 425 winner Justin Matney on air. Got Jenn Hellstrom, who was on ground out there at King of the Hammer. She's going to be calling in as well. Ami Houde's holding it down with some Supercross. And we are going to have a tribute to the late, great Dave Mirra, close friend of mine. We're going to have some sound bites from his last interview on the show. So definitely looking forward to that. Such a tragic thing with Dave, and we're definitely going to honor the life of literally the greatest BMX rider to ever walk the planet. So. Definitely going to be an awesome show today. A great way to kick off national syndication. And that being said, we're going to cut to a short commercial break. I know it's a little new for you, some of you listeners, but we'll be back and kick things off some Parker 425 coverage.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound of the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Oh, man. Well, you know, those of you that follow me on social media know that it was Best of Desert Parker 425 weekend, the kickoff to desert racing season. And not only was I racing in the event, but I had, quite a bit of other stuff going. You know, it's my hometown race and a lot of media stuff. I do some stuff with the local youth center, but all in all, I had a great event. Lost second gear in our transmission about mile 30 and 425-mile race. Almost had to do 400 miles with first and third gear, which means running mostly third gear because first is pretty much useless in a trophy truck. But ended up 16th out of, I believe, 49 entries. So all things considered, not a bad way to kick off the season. Nice solid finish for the number 15 General Tire trophy truck. Definitely things starting off better this year than they did last year, where I ended up on my lid. So that being said, we had a big event here at Parker. Splitting things into 2 days. It was definitely a change up for the drivers. I think it was definitely a change to the better. I was reading online today, social media, some of the forums, our friends over at Race Desert. A lot of people, applauding the organization, splitting things into two. I kind of felt the same way. And hey, I got to sleep until 9:30 in the morning on race day, which never happens because the unlimited cars raced in the afternoon. But honestly, a lot of peace of mind for me being able to race and not really worry about some of the slower cars on course like we've had to in the past. Definitely a lot of peace of mind. You can just hammer down, nail it, and and you're not having to worry about coming around a corner and there being a car going 15 miles an hour there. So all in all, I think it was a very good decision. Applaud Best in the Desert for that. I think it's going to bring a lot of racers back that maybe went away, because of some quote-unquote safety issues, but all in all, a solid event, well over 200 entries, and the the trick truck race, a.k.a. trophy truck, was just absolutely phenomenal. And as we're going to get to, one of our guests later on the show, Justin Matney, who, took the overall victory in his new four-wheel drive truck. It was just such a close battle, lead changing off and on. Obviously, I didn't factor into that with my transmission issues, but definitely a great race. So getting to those the race number 2 results, the afternoon results. Justin Matney taking the victory. Tracy Groff, man, talk about a guy coming out of nowhere. The past couple of years, just putting together a solid effort there from Canada. Just an amazing job those guys are doing. Tracy and Justin Bean Smith. Annie McMillan in the Tisco truck, finishing up in 3rd. Jason Voss, 4th. Dan McMillan, 5th. First in Class 1500, Corey Kesar, 6th overall. Gary Wyrick, last year's winner, finishing up in 6th in Trick Truck and 7th overall. We had John Walker, Jerry Welchel, and rounding out your top 10 was Tim Herp, 6100 winner, 11th overall. We had Alex Gonzalez. Solid effort by the 6100s. Second in 6100 was Tony Smiley, and third was Christian Serapis. Going down to going down further, 7,200 winner was Troy and Gary Messer. And I believe that might be it. I think we got an 8,000 winner in here somewhere, I believe was Dan German. But, this is race number 2 results. That's about going to wrap things up. We have the limited classes running in the morning. And limited classes, getting their own course. And I think a lot of them, everything I read said they were pretty pumped on that as well. Class 1000, a.k.a. Class 10, Roger Starkey taking it over Jason Coleman, past guest on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. They were both running 3 laps. Solid race between those two guys. Corey Goen in third overall, and in the 2-lap or in the morning race, and finishing up in third in Class 10. So skipping down, I believe Class 6000, your winner, Todd Jackson. Going down even further, Class 1100, Bob Elio. Class 2000 was Ryan Eder. And that was your morning 3-lap classes. Morning 2-lappers, this is the limited cars, 8100, Dean Van Dam, Todd McMimmet. Taking Class 5,000, 1,700 was Skylar Gramble, 3,700, Mike Bragg. And that wraps up your winners from the Best in the Desert Parker 425. But, you talk about a packed schedule for Best in the Desert. Man, they're gluttons for punishment over there at Best in the Desert. Kicking things off, they had Parker 250 a few weeks ago. Best in the Desert Parker 425 here in 2 weeks. It's the UTV World Championship in Laughlin. 2 weeks after that, the Mint 400. No rest for the wicked. Best in the Desert firing on all 8. They're definitely gonna be excited once the Mint 400 gets over and they get like a month and a half, which is unheard of it for Best in the Desert. To get ready for. Get ready for the Laughlin Desert Classic, I guess they're calling it, there in Laughlin. But, it was definitely a great event. Definitely one of those, if you're a fan of spectators, one you want to make it out to. I know Lucas Oil, they're filming it for TV. But nothing's like desert racing, getting up close and personal out there. Got the fire pits going, got your ice chest full of beer. Barbecuing there, out. A lot of people like to camp and make it a full weekend out of it. Nothing beats spectating desert racing, I'm telling you. Get out to the Parker 425, one of the best desert races you can spectate. That and King of the Hammers, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. 2 of the best desert races or the best off-road events in the country happening on the same weekend every year. It's kind of crazy the way that's worked out. But, King of the Hammers going off as well. I know we got Jenn Hell. She's going to be calling in here in just a bit. We're going to talk some King of the Hammers. But Best in the Desert Parker 425. Great kickoff to the Best in the Desert season. Definitely looking forward to the Mint 400. And I think I heard Mint 400, they're capping it at like 330 entries. And literally, I think they're already filling up. I was caught in the crossfire last year and got my entry in a bit too late. And luckily somebody had pulled out of the race and I was able to slip in and get my entry into the Mint 400. That not happening this year. I already sent mine in 2 weeks ago before the entry forms even came out. I was like, here, take my money. I was throwing money at them, here, take my deposit. I want in the event. And it's almost got to the point where that's what you got to do to race the Mint 400. Everybody wants in on that. And that's always a good thing for motorsports, when you have to cap the entries, because you've got too many people wanting in. It doesn't necessarily happen. I mean, how many events do they cap entries? I mean, you just you don't see that. Most of the time promoters are like, no, the more the merrier. Mint 400 is like, no, we're closing the doors, man. You're not in. You're too little too late. So always a good thing, especially to have that problem in off-road we always struggle in the past with getting spectators and things like that. And I think anybody that's been out to a desert race event, Mint 400 or Parker, or Baja or King of the Hammers knows that off-road is definitely spectator friendly. You just gotta work for it a bit, but it's makes it part of the adventure, part of the allure, part of what draws me to desert racing for sure. So definitely a great way to kick off 2016. Almost said 2015 there. I'm still getting adjusted to this talk of 2016. I don't know. I still, even on some checks I read out and stuff, I'm still writing 2015. I need to flip the switch, 2016 time. But that being said, I did bring on a new partner for the number 15 trophy truck and the Down and Dirty radio show, Casey Highlights. Welcome them back. Some of you longtime fans of mine know that definitely got a deep relationship with them. Like to welcome Casey Highlights back to the fold. Some of the best lighting that you can have in for any type of vehicle. Casey Highlights has you covered. So definitely you're going to hear more of them in the upcoming days and weeks out of my camp, but definitely like to welcome them. And also got another really, really big announcement we're going to drop next week, and it definitely involves four wheels. So you want to stay tuned for that for sure. But right now we're going to take another quick, short break, and when we come back, Jenn Hell, she's going to be calling in. We'll be talking King of the Hammers here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Looking to upgrade the brake system on your race car, pre-runner, or weekend toy? J-Mar Performance Brake Systems has you covered. An industry leader in performance braking systems, J-Mar can outfit your vehicle with the highest quality American-made calipers, rotors, master cylinders, hubs, turning brakes, and shifters for Volkswagens to trophy trucks and everything in between. For more information and their full product line, visit J-Mar on the web at jmarperformance.com or follow them on Instagram and Twitter at J-Mar Brakes.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Just got done talking a little Best of the Desert Parker 425. Kind of, using this whole first hour to talk some desert racing. I kind of like that. Off-road near and dear to my heart. I'd like to welcome my next guest to the line, my good friend, part of the Down and Dirty Radio Show family, Jenn Hellstrom. How's everything going, Jen?
Everything's going good, Jim. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, well, I talk about having a few days out in the desert last week, and I had a lot of fun. You had like an entire week out there at King of the Hammers, man. Tell us a little bit about that experience. I mean, we hear about this city that grows up in the middle of nowhere, but you experienced it firsthand.
Yeah, I spent 8 days out there in the desert, and let me tell you, as much as I love being in the desert, it was so good to be home. But being out there is such a unique experience. If you've never been, it's one of those things where you walk in or you drive in, and day of, you're seeing 90,000 people to 100,000 people out there just to watch this main Ultra 4 race. And it's so packed with just different varieties of people. And this year I heard the term going around that it's the Burning Man of off-road racing.
Yeah, that's a good analogy there. And you know what's funny about the whole thing to me is you hear about King of the Hammers. You mentioned Ultra 4, and I almost laugh. I mean, I feel bad for Dave Cole for he's created this animal because he's got this whole racing series. And I don't want to say nobody cares about the racing series, but it's all about King of the Hammers. I mean, you win King of the Hammers, you're set for the year. Nobody really puts so much stock in, being the Ultra 4 champ. It's all about King of the Hammers. I'd say it's like Score. I mean, Score Trophy Truck champ, Score Baja 1000 champ. All right, we're going to put that up on the mantle. It's kind of one of those things. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those races that you just come out to claim that title, and that's what a lot of people have done. And we had Eric Miller, who obviously won it this year, and it was his second time winning it. And it's a prestigious race, and it is comparable nowadays to Baja 1000. And I had a chance to sit down and talk to Rob McCachran, and he said even finishing King of the Hammers is equivalent to him as winning Baja 1000. So that right there can tell you that how hard of a race this is, and not anybody can just go out and hop in an Ultra 4 and do it. There were over 110 entries, and looking at the results, only 30 of those finished. So that in itself right there tells you that it's not just a race that anybody can go in and compete in and finish. People are considering finishing as much as they do a win. The excitement is there for them just because they finished.
Yeah, and I've talked with Rob, and he's, Rob's a guy who's won everything. I mean, there is to win. I mean, short course, desert racing. I know we laughed about it when we had him on air, last time. He's even won a NASCAR truck race. And that being said, King of the Hammers is a monkey. He can't get off his back, and obviously he's only been trying for a couple times now. But I think it's something that gets under his skin. Rob's not good at something, or I don't want to say not good at something, but he can't be. He hasn't been successful at it yet, and and it just digs at him and eats at him. And I think you see him this year, and he was running King of the Hammers. I mean, he ran the UTV event, which has become an event in itself. I mean, it's. I think it's great. You got guys like Robbie Gordon out there. I mean, it's just, a lot of people coming in from all different types of motorsports. I saw Vaughn Gittin Jr. was out there this year. I mean, it's just crazy. But, yeah. Well,
it's definitely nice to see people coming over to this side of the sport, and I think that it's just going to continue to grow and grow. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more people who race just desert take their chances and come over and race Ultra 4. I mean, the third place winner, Raul Gomez, called out desert racers that race just Baja and was like, come give it a shot. See if you can, hang with the rest of us over here. And so I wouldn't be surprised in the next few years if we start seeing more and more people, big name people, go over and try it out.
Yeah. Well, and I know talking with you earlier in the week, it was things kick off and it's King of the Motos, and that's just a crazy event in itself. And we talked about that last week on air because it kind of kicks things off, the weekend prior. But that being said, I mean, all week long there is just a ton of events. I mean, you've got the Vision X Shootout. You've got the UTV race, Everyman Challenge, qualifying. I mean, King of the Hammers. I mean, it's every day is just packed.
Every single day, and you're not. you're not being overdramatic by explaining that either. It's when I was out there, I was up at 6 a.m. and I was maybe in bed by 10 p.m. because there's just always so much going on and so much to see and so much to do. And, you know, one of my favorite things being out there, which I didn't get to experience in a year prior, was King of the Motos. You know, I ride dirt bikes, and so being able to stand there on the hill and watch those guys just go for it in the pile-ups, but the determination that they have, they don't give up, even though they're not even 50 yards from the starting line and they're already struggling. Yeah. So that was a really unique thing to see. And then another big thing that's being talked about is just the camaraderie that is out there and how everybody kind of helps everybody. And Waylon Campbell is one of those names that's getting thrown around a lot after this because he really he put his race to the side to help not only his sister, but to help his competitors too get up a certain section of the race course. So that's a big part of it is, you know, if you're not necessarily winning the race, you can see guys out there helping others to see them succeed. And that's a really neat thing to see as well.
Yeah. Well, and I know, you know, talking about the whole week, you know, want to talk real quick on the Polaris RZR King of the Hammer UTV race, because this has become a huge race. I know just not only in the UTV community, but they're drawing a lot of big names. I mean, Robbie Gordon came out and ran it. Rob McCachran was in a UTV. You know, and I know Mitch Guthrie has kind of been the king of the hammers as far as UTVs go, and he was leading for a while, but dethroned this year. But I mean, you know, it's just crazy how big, you know, the UTV race there's got. I mean, you know, there's some big name, you know, personalities coming in trying to win this.
Yeah, there was 60 entries, and so it made it really fun to watch. And they do such a great job at doing live coverage out there too. But yeah, with the 60 entries you have, Robbie Gordon brought Sheldon Creed with them, and Sheldon Creed is one of those up-and-comers too. So it'd be really neat to see them continue to come back and draw more people into the UTV races. You know, maybe we can get R.J. Anderson out there, who has a really big following to him right now. There's so many people. It would be awesome to just see that class alone grow to the size of the Ultra 4 classes.
Yeah, and it's almost like, you know, they've created this animal where it's like, you know, they're almost, I feel like they're at the brink of having to, you know, do things for a second week, you know, and because I don't know that you can pack much more into 1 week. And, you know, that being said, I mean, the you know, kind of the cap to the entire thing is, you know, King of the Hammers. I mean, take us through that event because, you know, there's all these events, you know, but at the end of the day, I mean, King of the Hammers, that's what everybody comes to see. That's the Super Bowl. Eric Miller taking that home. I mean, you know, that's just huge. Yeah.
So how it works this year is very similar to previous years. Is the first lap that they go out on is about a 65-mile desert loop. So really fast section, but some of these people who come from just a rock crawling background don't really know to handle the fast desert and the whoops and stuff like that. So it really separated them out really quickly. After 110 start, you would expect them to be coming in from a fast section really still neck and neck, but it wasn't like that. It really separated out the fast guys and about the top 5 that came in. After their first loop, they go out onto a second part of the course, which is where it starts to do the rock crawling, and you go up places like Chocolate Thunder and Sledgehammer and Jackhammer. And this is where you really start to see the skill come in and what it takes to actually race this race. And you saw the leader change so many times because it is just like racing desert. It's not about who's physically first, it's about who's doing the best on time. And so, like, for example, Tom Ways had a really crappy qualifying session and started near the back. But during that desert section, he was on it. And by the time they went out for their second lap, he had a 5-minute corrected time lead on these people. So, but he, you know, luck wasn't on his side, and he ended up braking, and the lead switched again, and numerous times I was up there on the stage watching the live timing, but it was Eric Miller who was able to just keep a nice steady pace through the 2 laps of the rock section and bring it home with a clean run.
Yeah, definitely huge moment in his career. A guy that's been around for quite some time. Before we let you go, I know that you also work with the Off-Road Hall of Fame. Got about 30 seconds. Give us a spiel, because I know something big just happened. Obviously packets are available now, right, for nominees?
Yes, we just opened up the nomination process for 2016. So if anybody knows someone who you think is deserving to be in the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame, visit ormhoff.org and download the packet. And they're due by the end of April. And we're really excited to see who's going to get nominated this year.
Awesome. We'll definitely start sharing that on social media. Appreciate you taking the time to call in, and glad you're back home. I'm sure the warm shower feels good.
Thank you for having me as always, Jim.
All right, thanks, Jen.
Bye.
All right, that was Jenn Hellstrom out there doing some production for King of the Hammers. Also works with the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame. Great having her on air. You can give her a follow on social media. Jenn Hellstrom also goes by Jenn Hell. But we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Justin Matney, Park 425 winner, is going to be on air. I'm Polaris driver Jim Beaver. I host the Down and Dirty radio show, travel the country announcing motorsports events, and I compete against some of the toughest drivers in the world in my number 15 trick truck in the Best in the Desert Championship. I know what it takes to survive Baja and races like the Mint 400 or Vegas to Reno, and that is reliability. When I choose to train, pre-run, or just take my family out to the desert or dunes on the weekend, I trust Polaris RZR products exclusively. I need the absolute best performing vehicles that I know will get me back safe, fast, and without any problems. The only vehicle on the market that I know will do this is the Polaris RZR. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, and we'd like to welcome our next guest to the line, RPM Off-Road's Justin Matney, winner of the Parker 425. How's everything going, Justin?
Everything's going great, Jim. Appreciate you having us on the show.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm trying to think back, and man, it's got to been. I think last time I had you on air was like you won Baja 500 in Class 1. What, 2 years ago? Maybe it's been a long time coming.
I believe that was it. And then after that, I blew up my back and I had to sit out for almost a whole year. So in that time, we started doing a little develop and getting the four-wheel drive truck put together, and we're starting to get all the bugs worked out. So pretty excited about that. Yeah,
and I know this four-wheel drive truck, it was kind of a secret project, I'd like to say. I mean, I know I saw Rick Geiser, and and I kind of knew about it, and it was one of those hush, don't tell anybody type of things. But when you kind of debuted this thing, it kind of came out of left field.
Yeah, we kept it pretty quiet. Rick and the guys, they did an excellent job of building the truck and doing it on time and, keeping it pretty hush-hush. But I remember we pulled up there to qualifying for Best in Desert. I believe it was Vegas to Reno. Everybody kind of walked back and was like, really? Four-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Well, it's come a long way pretty quickly.
Yeah, it definitely has, and it's kind of one of those things. I know, there's been some guys try it, but it seems like, I know, way back there was the old McPherson truck, and they tried it and had some problems. I think they ran the thing in two-wheel drive more than they did four-wheel drive, and and then the Herps, obviously, but when they were trying to do it, everything was so ridiculously expensive, and it seems like, what the guys have been doing in Ultra 4, is kind of trickled down where it's, I know there's a lot of custom parts on your truck, but, a lot of it's kind of made things, a little more accessible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the Ultra 4 guys, the King of the Hammers guys, what they've been doing for the past, few years, it's drastically helping. And, a big hand goes to the Pro 4 guys, too. They're not running, Chevy 2500 front diffs anymore and, things like that. So the parts have become more accessible, and obviously they're getting more and more test time. And, the guys at TubeWorks, Jason, they do such an excellent job on prototyping and developing products that, we've come a really long way with them.
Yeah, well, and I know, I spend as much time in the rally community and behind the wheel of a rally car here and there, as I do in the desert community. I mean, it seems like, rally community, 75% of the cars are all-wheel drive, and, you back one of those into a corner and, you can really see the advantage, and I think, a lot of times that, I kept going, at some point this is going to catch on in desert racing and guys are going to see it and it's going to be, like everybody sees the light, and I feel like, you guys have, when this truck's qualified, it's been right towards the front, you come out here a couple races in and, you guys have, kind of broken through and it's the wave of the future now.
Yeah. I mean, the four-wheel drive, it's just like a lot of other trucks, certain trucks are built, obviously differently, and, there are certain trucks that run better in San Felipe, other trucks run better in the tight stuff. So, we've tried to put together the best mix possible. With the four-wheel drive truck, we ran the entire race and it was the same set of tires. And, it's so much better because you're not getting all the spin and all the tire wear. You're getting a lot less heat. But, I think everybody's still pretty cautious and just waiting to see what's going to happen. And, we're going to continue to improve on this truck.
Yeah. Well, from a driver's standpoint, I mean, you spent, a lot of time behind the wheel of trophy trucks and, and truggies. I mean, how have you had to adjust your driving style to four-wheel drive? I mean, I know, when I jump into a rally car, it's, you go into a high-speed corner and it's a lot, it's a lot different technique. I mean, how in the desert, have you had to adjust your driving style, not only on the fast dirt roads, but, say in sand washes and the silt? I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's really funny. Ricky Johnson and I, we went out testing for a couple of days and there last year, towards the end of the year, and we were talking about different things, and Ricky was helping coach me and understand the truck, because you can't really drive it like a two-wheel drive truck. And it's just like you said, with a rally car and two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, the truck, you can actually drive it through the corners. You're not having to pitch it so hard in the corners to be able to make it rotate. And it works so well. And it has taken a little while to get used to driving the vehicle. But, I think a little bit more time and a little bit more tuning, I think we'll really have the vehicle completely dialed in. Because, as you know, Parker was such a rough race, and it just got continuously worse throughout the race. But I'm glad everything was able to live, and I think the new components we put on the truck have proved themselves. So, pretty good.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. There's a lot of trucks that go years, new trucks that go years without ever getting its first win. And, here you guys are a few races in and wham, you took it. And, I think it's, definitely, props to your driving, props to the design from the geysers. And, I think this truck is definitely going to see quite a few more.
Yeah, the truck did excellent. My co-drivers, he did a great job, Jeff. And, of course, all the pit guys, they did an excellent job getting us in and out of the pits. And, it's just one of those things. We got a radio call about 20 miles out saying we were 3 minutes down. So from there on out, we just never lifted the entire way back in because we knew we had to push it pretty hard to get an overall. So I figured that either we were going to get a flat and throw it away or whoever was chasing us down was going to get a flat.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy. You talk about trophy truck, and we've talked about it numerous times on the show before, but 15 years ago, it was if you finished a race, you were guaranteed a top three. It was just a race of attrition, and now, races literally are 500-mile races being determined by seconds, and one little mistake and one flat tire can cost you the entire race, and it's pretty crazy how the sport has evolved to the point where, like you said, you're pushing 100% from the drop of the green till the time you cross the finish line, and, it used to not be that way in desert racing.
Oh, yeah. The technology's changed with the trucks, everything from suspension to tires, transmissions, engines, air cleaners. Everything has gotten so great, which obviously there's still more room for improvement. But it's like you said, everything's within seconds. I think when my teammate Abdali won the 500 last year, I think it was less than 30 seconds between him and Rob McCackern. It's unreal. You can go that long and be within seconds or minutes of each other. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, you guys, the RPM Off-Road, you guys have a heck of a stable. Take us a little behind the scenes. A lot of guys struggle to field one truck. Here you guys are. You have multiple vehicles and multiple classes. How did this whole thing? I know, Clyde Stacy's involved. How did everything kind of get put together?
Well, in the beginning, Claude and I, we raced, we built a 2006 Dodge stock full, and we just talked about doing this one time, and I'd get back to my business and doing everything, and we went down there and we raced, and we met a lot of great people and friends, and we ended up breaking a transmission in the first 300-400 miles of the race, and Claudia looked at me and said, "Okay, next year we're going to come back, we're going to build 2 trucks." I said, "Okay, all right, no big deal." So that whole year, we built 2 more trucks, and we went through and tested them all year long, and we went down, and I think we got a 3rd or 4th place finish in that 1,000. And then, after that, everything kind of progressively, obviously you want to go faster, and you want to get better, so we started looking at Class 8, and that's really where Claude and I kind of got bit by the Baja bug really bad because, Class 8 is such a fast class. It's a great learning class. And the truck we had, Steve Arlia, he built that truck as Mick Vanderway's. And the truck was just, it's excellent. We still have the truck now. We use it for pre-running. But, over the years, we progressively started tinkering around different classes, everything from Class 11, Class 9, Stock Mini, and when Claude first went to Trophy Truck, we had discussed that I was going to continue racing Class 8 for a year or 2 before moving up to Class 1. And Claude had, him and Juan Carlos Lopez been competing for years. And, it's one of those love-hate friendships when you're competing against each other. You see each other down pre-run or whatnot, you'll help each other during the race. So we couldn't think anybody better to team up with Claude than Juan. And Claude and Juan, they ran together for a year or 2, and then we noticed Abdali racing the ATVs and doing very well. And we started letting him do a couple different code races and record races, and they just progressively brought him up. And the same with Lalo. Lalo, we we talked with him there when he was racing Class 9, and we gave him a chance on trying some different driving things, and he's proved out great. I mean, both of them have won a trophy truck race. Dolly won a championship in trophy truck last year. I mean, they've progressed really well, and now me, finally getting back healthy again from back surgery and getting back going, starting the year with a win has been fantastic.
Yeah, definitely a great start to 2016. What are the plans for you guys? Are you running a full Best in the Desert and Score calendar? Or are you going to run a bit of each? What are the plans?
Well, the plan right now is I'm going to run Best in the Desert and Score. And then my teammates, obviously, Dolly's going to be running in Score, defending his championship for the year. And then Lala's going to be doing a lot of mainly Best in the Desert this year. Okay. Because we discussed, everything from short course racing to doing a couple of rally races, trying out different things. But obviously we'll be down at Nora running that race because Claude and I, we both enjoy the race. And they do an excellent job with that race as well.
Yeah, well, and talking to that, I know you're one. Once in a while, you make an appearance here and there in Stadium Super Trucks. Obviously, we've seen Abdali, take home an X Games gold. Are we going to see you possibly, in the seat of a Stadium Super Truck at any time?
We've talked about it. I talked to Robbie not too long ago, and I believe I'll probably do a couple races this year. We just got to sit down and get our schedules together. That's really all I'm lacking. Yeah, you'll probably see me back in the Stadium Super Truck this year.
Nice. Well, and I hear you talk about rally cars, and obviously that piques my interest. Any chance of that happening, or is that at this point just something kind of back burner? We'll see if it ever materializes, type of thing.
Oh well, it's actually pretty high up on the scale. To be honest with you, we've had a couple of groups out of Vermont contact me about driving one of their cars and this and that. And I said, yeah, I'd absolutely love to, as long as we don't have anything conflicting in the schedule. So as soon as I find out something, you'll be the first one to know. All
right, man. I would definitely be stoked to hear that. But I know you are awful busy getting back in the groove of things after this Parker 425 win. But congratulations on the win, and love having you on air. We need to do it more often. We can't wait 2 years next time.
Yeah, exactly. Just pick up the phone and give me a call, Jim, anytime.
All right. Thanks a lot, Justin.
Thank you, sir.
Always great catching up with Justin Matney, just a class act, him and everybody there at RPM Off-Road. Guy I don't get to catch up with often, but when I do, it's definitely good stuff. And stage rally, Justin Matney, going to try some stage rally. I'm kind of digging that, trying to get a few more of my off-road buddies. We got La Rosa doing it, and I'm not saying quit off-road, but I'm saying I like to see a little crossover there. Always good stuff. Get my off-road buddies out there to Rally America to try their hand out on the stages and bang doors. Well, I guess not necessarily bang doors, but always good. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we've got some GRC talk and rumors coming up here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle. Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Catching up with Best in the Desert Parker 425 winner Justin Matney. Had Jenn Hell talking some King of the Hammers. But that being said, we're going to shift gears. A quick, short Dirtfish Rally report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. Find out more information on the web, www.dirtfish.com. And I know they got some Valentine's specials going on. A his and hers package up there at Dirtfish. Sounds good to me. Definitely go over, check out their social media, check out their website, and get dialed in on some his and hers Valentine's packages right now. But GRC, Global Rallycross, Red Bull Global Rallycross, two things kind of coming out. One formal announcement, one informal. But the formal announcement, their opening round in Phoenix, Wild Horse Pass. Big news for you Arizona fans and Lucas Oil Off-Road fans. Going to be run there at the same facility that Lucas Oil Off-Road hits up for their rounds here in Arizona. So big news. That's a great venue. Super stoked for Red Bull Global Rallycross to be coming to Arizona. I'm definitely going to try and get out there, do a little live radio from the paddock if I can, and hopefully we can get on the mic at some point as well. But definitely good news for Red Bull GRC. Informal. This has kind of been breaking by Auto Week, something GRC insiders have kind of heard rumors about for years at this point. But it's finally sounds like it's going to be announced at one of the auto shows this week, not formally by GRC, but I got to talk about it. Sounds like Auto Week says that Honda pulling the trigger and going to be running a factory-backed Red Bull Global Rallycross effort. If, in fact, this is true, which I believe it is because I've been hearing these rumors for years, absolutely blockbuster. Honda joining Volkswagen, Subaru, Ford. It's definitely big news for Red Bull Global Rallycross, and a couple of drivers and teams who are going to pick up some factory backing. So definitely big news coming out of Red Bull Global Rallycross. Sounds like, according to Auto Week, it's going to break at one of the auto shows, upcoming auto shows. So here's hoping that it is in fact true. I'm saying on the rumor mill scale of 1 to 10, this is as far as factual basis goes, this is a 9.5. I would almost say it's a guaranteed. So hang tight, Red Bull Global Rallycross fans. Honda may be jumping on board with the series, and that will be huge for 2016. We're going to take a short break, really short break, and when we come back, a little more talk here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. I'm Polaris driver Jim Beaver. I host the Down and Dirty Radio Show, travel the country announcing motorsports events, and I compete against some of the toughest drivers in the world in my number 15 trick truck in the Best in the Desert Championship. I know what it takes to survive Baja and races like the Mint 400 or Vegas to Reno, and that is reliability. When I choose to train, pre-run, or just take my family out to the desert or dunes on the weekend, I trust Polaris RZR products exclusively. I need the absolute best performing vehicles that I know will get me back safe, fast, and without any problems. The only vehicle on the market that I know will do this is the Polaris RZR. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. All right, kicking off hour number 2 here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. And I guess not quite kicking off hour number 2, but pretty darn close. But, yeah, big news out of Red Bull Global Rallycross. And hour number 2, we got Ami Houde calling in. We're going to talk some Supercross with her. Man, it's, we're definitely going to hit on Dave Mirra on that topic here in just a few minutes. Got pulled together about a 7-minute kind of soundbite of Dave's from one of the times he was on the show this last time in November, and definitely something near and dear to my heart. But we'll be talking about that here in a few minutes in hour number 2. And definitely want to touch on some snowcross. Snowcross in action there in New York over the weekend. Pro Light winners, the first round went to Jake Angove, Montana Jess second, Daniel Benham in third. Pro Light round number 2, Elias Ishuel, Montana Jess, and Jake Angove. So your Pro Light points at this point, it's Montana Jess out front, 356 points, Jake Angove, 333, and Daniel Benham, 316, sitting there in third. Pro Open, this is the one you guys want to know about. Tucker Hibbert, clean sweep of the weekend, taking first place in round 1 and 2. Kyle Pauline second in the first round and third in the second. Podium sweep for Kyle Pauline, and then Logan Christian taking home third in the first round, and Lincoln Lemieux second in the second round of the weekend. Points, Tucker Hibbert, man, he is just dominating, 463 points. Tim Tremblay in second with 373. Adam Reinheim, 355, and Kyle Pauline in fourth with 336 points. Man, oh man, it's it is all Tucker Hibbert. X Games medals, wins. It's not even arguably at this point. And you've got legends like Levi LaValle. It's just. There's been numerous snowcross legends, but Tucker Hibbert, as far as I'm concerned, he's put the stamp on it as the greatest ever. I don't think there's even any arguing it at this point. Tucker is Tucker, and what Tucker is an absolute animal behind the wheel of a snowmobile. Still need to reach out to him and see if we can snag him, get him on air at some point for a quick interview. But Tucker, just an absolute animal. Congrats to him. Sweep of the weekend. More X Games medals. What can you say? Just dominating. All right, we've got a short break, and then we come back. We're going to talk some Dave Mirra here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle. Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Going to switch gears a bit here and talk a little bit of Dave Mirra, a guy that was a good friend of mine. Those of you longtime listeners know we've had him on air a few times and had the opportunity to call some races he was in. Met Dave, and just a weird situation. I mean, here's a guy I grew up idolizing. He was a big deal in our house growing up. I mean, I had his signature bike, his signature shoes, his shirts, his hats, posters on the wall. My sister had a crush on him. My brother had one of his bikes. And then later on in life, as you grow older, I get to call the guy that I idolized as a young kid a friend, a real good friend. And so it's a bit weird. But this interview is going to be the segment I clipped is something, where he's talking about his family and things like that. I thought it was kind of fitting, and this is the Dave I knew, So, we're not talking X Games. We're not talking rally cars. We're just talking family with Dave Mirra. So we're gonna run this quick interview and, kind of a tribute to Dave.
Jim, what's going on, bud? How you been?
Oh, man, it's episode number 200, and I'm stoked to have you on air with us, buddy.
Dude, that's rad. Yeah, I was pretty surprised. I've been kind of out of the loop, but always nice to talk to old friends,
Yeah, well, we put it out there, and I don't know, it's been, I think, maybe 2 years since we've had you on air, but I put it out on one of the shows. I said, hey, some of our past guests, who do you guys want on air? And, literally, I got hit with a flood of messages on social media and stuff. We want to hear Dave. We want to see what Dave's doing. I'm like, well, I'll shoot him a text and see if we can get Dave on and find out what's going on.
Oh, sick. That's cool to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of a little downtime now for me. Did a lot of training this year, pretty hard. Ironman stuff, man. That's something else. But I had a blast. It was good. Now kind of scratching my head thinking, what's next?
Yeah. Well, talk about the training for that, because I mean, you've always, even back, in your BMX days, you were one of the first guys that really, started lifting weights and put in a fitness program. But this Ironman stuff is totally different level. I mean, what goes into training for Ironman? I mean, it's just it's crazy.
Well, for the full Ironman, I basically left my family and went up to Syracuse to train for 6 weeks so I could just be, just like solo and just fully focused. And basically, I would ride, say Monday would be probably an hour and 15-minute swim, maybe an hour spin on the bike. Tuesday would be a 4-hour bike ride, maybe a 30-minute run. Wednesday would be a swim focus and usually a longer run focus. Thursday would be another 4-hour bike. Friday would be a big swim day, hour, 15 to an hour and a half. Saturday would be a 5 to 6 hour bike ride, and then 50-minute run off the bike. So right when you get done with 6 hours on a bike, and then you go run for 6-7 miles right after, it's crazy. They're like 9-hour days. When you're stopping to get drinks and all that, and then Sunday would be a 20-mile run. Hard stuff. I mean, insane. Just back to back to back, and it's brutal, but it's pretty rad because you're accountable, and on race day, you can only blame yourself really if you're having a bad day. So
yeah, to me, I mean, it's just crazy what you guys go through. I know you've been lucky enough. I know your kids are you'll go out riding or running, and they'll go along with you a lot of the times, right?
Yeah, I'll do that. Like, what's cool is that we'll be in the neighborhood, and if I got to run, like my neighbor's like 3 miles, back and forth. If I do like 3 miles, they'll ride with me, and then they'll get off their bikes and they'll run like a little small, like half-mile block. So they get a little bit of it, which is cool. And we got like a challenge right now. I said it's 100 days in a row. They got to run on the treadmill like 5 minutes or a half mile. And so it's not like I'm sitting there grinding them out and making them, but it's more about the accountability. And I said, if you guys, whoever finishes it, I'll give you get $100, $1 a day, but you got to finish the 100. And if you miss a day, you got to start over. So we're all struggling. I think Maddie right now is winning. She's on like 8 or 9 days, but we all, sometimes you miss a day, and it's really about, I'm just teaching them accountability and just seeing if they can get through it. So it's pretty awesome. Little fun stuff like that,
Yeah, well, and I think that's, the case with anything, it's about following through and making yourself accountable, and you're not going to get any results unless you dedicate yourself to it, right?
That's right, totally. And I think for kids that young, like I'm not into trying to get them to grind out long runs and be in pain and hate it, but a half mile or 5 minutes is not really that much, but it's about just getting the work done. And what I think is so cool, Jim, is that they will come home and run up there and do, Dad, I'm going to go do my run quick. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, I'm not asking them to do it. I don't, they just will go do it because they know that was on their mind. And that's what's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they'll just go up there, get on the treadmill by themselves, and go run.
Yeah. Well, and how has it been for you? I mean, kind of, I know, talking about the family and kids and stuff like that. I mean, it's got to be pretty cool for you. I mean, obviously, I know you talked about going up to Syracuse and training and spending a little bit of time away from them. But, it's got to be kind of cool to be, this stage in your life, still be pretty young, be able to go out and do stuff. But, be able to spend time with your family, not have to worry about this sponsor obligation or making this plane flight here. I mean, it's kind of what you want to do. It's not, what everybody else wants Dave to do.
Yeah, it was, I said when I turned 40, I wanted to, I said, I wasn't really happy with a lot of, if we go back to the Rallycross stuff and, there got a point when obligations and things out of your control, and I felt like a lot of things were just making me unhappy, and I just said, when I turned 40, I'm done with everything that I've done in the past, and I'm going to go and see what happens moving forward, and, I really have, luckily just got my first paycheck from Cervelo, who is a road bike company, top end road bikes and T-bikes, and they paid me this year to represent them. But other than that, it's been almost 2 years, and I said, wow, this is getting a little scary, but I just said, I'm kind of unhappy with, especially with things out of your control, and you're just kind of, you sometimes just feel like a puppet, and you're like, you know what? maybe this isn't right now. You know, I think it takes a lot of courage sometimes to say, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to move on. I'm not going to just keep milking things. Whether it was, you know, me and BMX, if I wanted to stay around and just keep competing at a lower level than I would be used to or wanna, just to keep making money. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really into that. So maybe it's not the best idea all the time, but you know, my biggest thing was just being true to yourself at this point. You know, I've had an amazing BMX career. Loved it. It was a dream. It was, you know, way more than I ever thought I would end up. You know, so. Now to have a family and be around, like you said, like I'm here, I can take them to school every day. I'm with them all the time, and it's, you know, I don't travel very well anymore. You know, like if it's leaving for 6 weeks to train, they understand that. But if it's like just jumping around, always leaving every week, I mean, I just not into it, you know, and maybe it'll happen again sometime, you know. But right now, it's I'm in a healthy sport. I love it, and the people are awesome. Like, so it's a pretty big change, but pretty cool.
Yeah, that was you know, part of the last interview I did with Dave back in November, episode number 200. You can go back in the archives if you want to hear the full thing. It's about 30 minutes long there, just episode number 200 at our website. But, you know, I just wanted to air that. You know, Dave was happy and talking about life and things like that, you know, and that was just a couple of months ago. Pretty crazy. But, you know, I do want to say, you know, if any of you are struggling, I mean, I think everybody at one point in their life has struggled with depression. If any of you are doing that, I mean, reach out to somebody. I mean, seriously, you know, there's people out there, you may not think, but they care about you. They love you. Reach out to somebody, you know, and you know, we don't know the full reasoning behind, you know, what Dave did or anything, but I do know he had a lot of people that cared about him, a lot of fans that cared about him. You know, obviously had a wife and two beautiful children, and you know, and definitely just a very, very sad moment for motorsports, action sports in general. You know, just you know, this guy was an icon, and you know, definitely way too early. So you know, like I said, reach out to somebody, you know, and that being said, we're going to go to a break, and you know, and Dave, you know, wherever you're at, buddy, we love you, and rest in peace, my friend.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners and for trick riders, a double side kicker and a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Looking to upgrade the brake system on your race car, pre-runner, or weekend toy? J-Mar Performance Brake Systems has you covered. An industry leader in performance braking systems, J-Mar can outfit your vehicle with the highest quality American-made calipers, rotors, master cylinders, hubs, turning brakes, and shifters for Volkswagens to trophy trucks and everything in between. For more information and their full product line, visit J-Mar on the web at jmarperformance.com or follow them on Instagram and Twitter at J-Mar Brakes. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm your host, Jim Beaver, and it's been a bit of an interesting show so far today, but did catch up with good friend Justin Matney from RPM Off-Road, taking home that win in the Best in the Desert Blue Water and Casino Parker 425, I guess presented by Impact. We might as well get all their sponsors in there. But talk about a great weekend, King of the Hammers, biggest race of the year. And, it was, it was definitely, one for the record books. Just crazy how you can, grow something like that out of virtually nothing with just a vision. And that being said, I guess, the show's kind of that way. It started out with a $30 Walmart headset, and here we are today with Sports Byline on, hitting national syndication. So, I guess the American dream is alive and well. I'm definitely proof of that. It's, you put your mind to something, and anything can happen, definitely. So switching gears, we're kind of waiting on Ami Houde to call in. We're going to talk a little bit of Supercross, some two-wheel stuff. But if you have any questions, make sure and tweet me at JimBeaver15. Love to get those questions on Twitter. She is at Ami Houde 71. But, if you're going to ask questions for the show, make sure and tag us both, or tag me if you want them on air. I know a lot of times she's on her phone. She can't check Twitter like I can here in the studio. That's right. She does call in remotely from Canada. It's always fun to have Amy on air. And, that being said, we're going to be at UTV World Championship coming up in 2 weeks. I'm going to be airing live there Friday at the Down and Dirty Radio Show Network, downanddirtyshow.com, from the Polaris Razor booth. So those of you looking for some UTV World Championship coverage, I'll be there. We'll be live from the UTV World Championship. So definitely, looking forward to doing that, catching up with a lot of my friends who race UTVs. Always a little bit of a unique show, and, with some UTV Polaris Razor flavor. And looking at the entry list for the UTV World Championship, I know Best of the Desert's kind of got things up, but it is stacked. We're going to switch gears, talk a little Supercross. My partner in crime, Ami Houde, is on the line, and we're going to hit her music. What is happening, Ami Houde?
Hey, how's it going? Actually, it's not going that good for me. My vehicle just stalled again, or my battery or alternator is going or something or another. So I just had to get my dad to come boost me yet again. I'm pretty sure this happened to us 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday as well. So I just don't have a lot of luck on Tuesdays. Last Tuesday, our interview got cut short because I got pulled over by the cops for being on my phone. Yes, that happened to me. So that's why I threw myself a little pity party and cried a couple of crocodile tears because I was extremely bummed out. There's 5 demerits on my license, and I'm actually at the most demerits you're possibly allowed to have. So I got to fight that ticket. But, yeah, it was a rough Tuesday last week, and now I'm sitting in front of one of my calls for work, and my truck died again. So I had to call my dad, and good thing I'm a little girl, only child. My daddy is always to the rescue, but I just got a boost.
I'm gonna wire transfer you $100 and tell you to buy a battery there, Amy.
Oh, my God. No, I think I need a new I don't know what it is, to be honest. Like, I pull up to my stores and I have to put my four-ways on because I park in a loading zone. And then all day it's been like my truck's turned over slower and slower. So I'm pretty sure something's going there. But I'm good. I'm back in action. I'm ready to rock. So
yeah. Being ready to rock. I know we're going to talk some Supercross here in a little bit, but you're getting ready to head down south to some warmer weather. I know going to be at the UTV World Championship with me. We're going to do a little radio, but you're going to be at Supercross. You got a ride day coming up. You got all kinds of stuff on the horizon. Some photo shoots.
I'm so excited. First off, I'm excited to get out of this cold weather. I'm pumped to head down south. I think we're having a blizzard actually rolling in here on Thursday, so I'm just excited to get out of the cold and into the sun and the beautiful weather and to get in some dirt. I've enough playing in the snow and building snowman and igloos and whatnot. I need to get into some on the track and in some dirt. So, yeah, my ride day is going to be on February 14th, Valentine's Day, so this coming up Sunday. I'm so excited. Again, we've talked about it, but this started off as just, hey girls, let's meet up at a track or somewhere and let's go ride. To I have girls flying in from New York and carpooling with a whole bunch of people from Vegas and Utah and British Columbia with Canada. And there's over 300 girls coming to this ride day. I couldn't be more excited. Paula, we're holding it at Paula. The track promoters and the owners are so excited too. They actually have asked me to come back and throw a couple other ones and make this a regular thing. So it's going to be such a cool event. We got photographers and videographers, tons and tons of swag. Some vendors actually now are rolling in and going to set up shop to help promote the day and give girls opportunity to buy some swag and just. It's going to be awesome. Like I'm really excited to be able to do this for the female racing community and create this environment where it doesn't matter your age or your riding level or whatever. Like just the fact that we all love dirt bikes and we can come together and all ride together and meet new friends is just awesome. Like I wish there was something like this when I was younger or when I was kind of coming through the ranks because you really like. Who doesn't want to meet and ride with their idols or their, the people they aspire to become? Vicky Golden is coming down and Sarah Price, like all these really big name women who have a very successful career in racing that can just leave an impact on a younger girl kind of coming up through the ranks that having the opportunity to talk to them and hang out with them for the day is really, really inspiring and can leave a big impact on someone to really get out there and try to make their dreams reality. So that's hopefully, the environment that I want to create and just have an awesome day. So I'm excited. If you're in California area or the, surrounding body, come on down. It's gates open at 8. Ride day's going to start at 9 and just kind of go till dark and it's going to be awesome. So, and boys, you're welcome too. Come meet your future wife and, your future motor chick lover. Yeah. Valentine's Day, how much more romantic can you be? But there's lots of them to choose from.
I'm gonna say, guys, no creeping though. If you don't have a dirt bike, don't show up. They don't want a bunch of guys just creeping. I mean, if you're gonna go out there and ride, do it. But I'm just gonna call a spade here. If you don't have a bike in the back of your truck, you gotta have a security guard turning the dudes away. I mean, you don't need a bunch of guys just hanging around trying to hit on you ladies. I mean, seriously.
No, that's super funny.
Yeah.
But we do encourage people, the guys, if you are going to come down, bring your mom, bring your girlfriend or your sister or, like a friend of yours who, even if they don't ride but wants to come down and, like, see what it's all about, we're going to have some extra gear. Paula's actually building a nice like a little flat track, corner track for people if they want to try it out for the first time. This is an event to try to get people involved too and spark an interest. So if you want to come down, bring a chick. Like again, it's Valentine's Day. What a perfect idea. Like every girl's dream
I'm telling you right now, boys, who are listening in, every girl's dream is to go on a dirt bike date, okay? It's like the iconic symbol of a badass relationship. You want to go on a dirt bike date. The girl will love you forever. So if you want to get in the good books, take her on a dirt bike date. All of her friends will be jealous, and come on, all Valentine's Day really is trying to make all the friends jealous of your awesome relationship.
Oh, there's going to be there's guaranteed to be a handful of guys that try it, and their girls are totally the Valley Girl type, and and they're going to get such trouble. Oh,
it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be great. I got to ask you though. I know you do a lot with the little Groms. Little kids, they able to come out too. I mean, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, and. Get some pointers?
Of course.
Okay.
The great thing about Paula is they have 3 tracks, and now they have another one. Like I said, they're building just a nice little corner track off to the side for beginners if they're too intimidated to go on the track. But they have a women's or vet track, very mellow, no big gap jumps, just nice little tabletops and stuff, and it's great for any age and level of rider. So I actually have little girls. I think this one girl's 9, and she messaged me on Instagram asking if she was too young to come. I'm like, no way, girl. I've taught girls who have been 3 or 4 years old on a dirt bike. So this is open to all ages, all riding levels, all bike sizes. You are all welcome. It's going to be a great show. And the bigger girls are here to help the little girls as well. All of us pro women, we're here for them. This is an event for the fans and the future stars of female racing industry. We are here to, help you, ride with you, chat with you, hang out with you. This is, actually for them, not us. So.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. I know you've been working on this quite some time, and then heck, you get to take in some Supercross too while you're out there. So should be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to finally see Supercross live already. Normally I head out to A1 or A2 or something, but San Diego is such a great event. I mean, San Diego is beautiful, probably my favorite city in California. And it's always just a great show. And a lot of my friends live there, so I can't not go. But it's weird kind of coming halfway through, not halfway, but a quarter through the season. I just feel like I'm so out of the loop. But busy. I'm happy I can still make one. Yeah, it should be good. I can't wait to meet everybody and hang out. And, I haven't seen anybody for a whole season, it seems like. So it should be good. And best part is I am going to be a spectator this weekend. I actually don't have to go and work. There's no interviews, no videos. I'm simply going to be a fan in the crowd, which I never get the opportunity to do. Usually I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off all day, trying to get interviews and film for somebody, but this time I actually can watch everything from practice to the racing. Usually I miss qualifying because a good opportunity to get interviews is, while qualifying's going on, well, the other, A group is on the track, I can go talk to the B group and vice versa. So finally I don't have to do anything. I can even roll in late if I want to. I can sleep in on Saturday.
Nice. Well, we got to take a quick break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. We'll talk some Supercross here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Ami Houde, hanging out, getting ready to talk some Supercross. And, man, a little shake up there in Phoenix, Amy. You there? Hello? You there?
Hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, man. A little shake up there in Phoenix, on top of the podium. Kenny Roczen finally breaking through.
Oh, my God, what a race this weekend. Finally, we saw a change up with that top spot. I mean, the 250s, we had Joey win the weekend before, but, 450s has been so dry all season. Dot was extremely dominant Ryan Dungey. But finally, I got to give it to Ken Roczen. Riding with a vengeance. Look, amazing out there. So fast, so clean. I have to hand it to him. It's the old Ken Roczen that we're used to seeing. It was so much success for him. I'm so happy. Finally was able to put it all together. But, Dungey came from way back there. I think he was, started out 11th and was in 9th and slowly worked his way through the crowd. But I think when he made it into the top three, he put it into cruise control, passed Tomac for second place. But, that last little bit of charge, he put it into cruise. If he had a little bit of a better start, I think he would have been able to take it home. But still, I have to hand it to Ken Roczen. Clean riding. What a great win. I think that's going to do a lot for his confidence, and I think that we'll be able to see Ken out there battling for that top spot the next weekend to come. So he had a taste of it, and now he's going to want it. So he's hungry.
Yeah, this is a Ken Roczen we've been waiting to see. I mean, he's kind of just been laying back, and we didn't know what the heck was going on. It's like, man, we got the fire back. Maybe somebody's ready to go toe-to-toe with Dungey, the rest of the season. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited, too. And, it did shake up the points quite a bit. I was thinking that Dungey was going to just pull away and, easily get that 100-point gap on second place, and it was just no battle to the finish. But right now, Ken Roczen's only 21 points down from Ken Roczen, and then Jason Anderson is sitting in there in third place, which is great for him. I mean, he came out with a win. He's been consistent, not been on the top of the box every weekend, but he's right there, been extremely consistent. So I have to hand it for Jason Anderson, beating guys like Tomac and and Reed and Millsaps and all those top guys you thought were going to be there in that chase for the championship. But Jason Anderson has been amazing, and he's I'm pumped to see him up there. So hopefully Jason can get back on the box and have a couple more wins, or seconds and thirds. But all in all, it was a good weekend.
Yeah, I do gotta say, and keep in mind that I didn't get a chance. I was as this was on TV, I was out racing.
You were racing?
Trophy truck. So literally, I didn't get to watch this on TV. But
it was a good one.
I had a good excuse this go around. But I got to ask you, Davey Millsaps, another hole shot. Obviously, the guy gets some of the best starts in the business this year. Another hole shot and finishes fifth. What's your take on this? The guy, he comes out, like gangbusters, but the way it looks, it just kind of falls off the pace.
It's really funny because we were all talking, watching the racing, and we were voting for all the little guys off the start, because I don't know if you have the opportunity to see that start, but holy smokes, it was like a freaking seventh gear, wide open, shifting as much as possible. Like, guys needed extra gears to get down that starting gate. It was the longest start straight I've ever seen in Supercross history, and that new huge, stadium at Glendale, like, that's a beautiful, beautiful stadium. But we thought that the smaller guys would kind of get those hole shots because it was such a far way to go, and the light guys are just, usually a lot better at getting the hole shots in situations like this. But yeah, I kind of thought that Millsaps was going to hole shot and check out. He was looking extremely smooth. He was actually doing this dragons back to a triple into a corner, jumping the whole thing when guys are kind of jumping on top and over and under and whatever. But he was clearing the whole thing. He was doing obstacles out on the track that other guys weren't doing, making up a lot of extra time. A couple seconds here and there is huge in a 20-lap race. So I'm surprised, but it just really goes to show that his conditioning is not quite there yet. He got a little tired, and normally I think when you start, right at the front, you get that hole shot and you fade, till he faded to fifth place. That goes to show where you are actually, fitted in the series, where you're actually running and where you're capable of finishing. Because if you get a hole shot, and he had quite a lead the first, 2-3 laps, he should have been able to maintain it. But obviously, Ken Roxon, Ryan Dungey, and Eli Tomac were faster than him and passed him. But it goes to show that he's probably just, a fifth-place rider right now at this period in time. Hopefully he can go back, learn from the mistakes, get some extra conditioning in here in the next couple weeks, and he can get a hole shot again and hopefully, hold his own a little bit longer. But no, those top guys were gone. Ken Roxon, once he got around him, just checked out. He looked so smooth. There was literally no competition.
Yeah, and that being said, Chad Reed still putting together some solid finishes. I know, we talked about Anderson. Yep. He's sitting there in fourth. He's having a pretty darn good year for, I still say I think we're going to see Chad Reed on top of the box at some point this year.
Oh, for sure. And, we always talked about maybe this is Chad Reed's year, that he's going out with a bang, back on that home comfortable bike of Yamaha. I don't think so. Absolutely not by the looks of his riding. He is as competitive as he's ever been, extremely, extremely conditioned, just looks like such a solid top rider out there. Like, I don't see this being his final year racing at all. Absolutely not. But, great ride also for Cole Seeley and Marvin Musquin. Finally, he's kind of come up through there. I believe he had a little bobble. He was in a podium position and lost it. So, too bad for him. But, I'm a little disappointed with a couple guys out there. Weston Pike, not a great finish for him. And Christophe Pascal, I thought this guy was going to come over and show us Americans what's up. But, the Frenchman has not had the most luck this year so far. In Vince Freeze still, he's barely making the mains and barely making the night shows. So, some riders are doing good and some guys just kind of just creeping in there. It's interesting to see how everything unfolds, a couple of races in. Everyone comes out with a bang, but then everybody kind of ends up, settling where they actually fit in, into the series. So now we'll see who can really prevail. So.
Yeah. Well, and I gotta say, especially for the 450 guys, I mean, that's got to be a grind. I mean, 16 rounds. I mean, pretty much back to back to back to back to back. I mean, that's a grind. I mean, on the body, the travel. I mean, everything. It's just, like you said. I mean, conditioning, and people don't think, but I mean, people like you and I that travel a lot. I mean, conditioning. I mean, and eating right when you're on the road. It's tough, and I think it separates the guys that have a little bit of, I don't know. It's definitely tough, and you can tell guys like Dungey and Roxon who are consistently there up at the top, they've got it all figured out.
Yeah, and it's funny because we talk about that, and it's a grind, and being on the right program is key. And it's funny because for me as a fan, and even as if I'm more like a 250 girl, right? Like I don't know how intense the 450 program really is until you really start talking to the riders. For me, a typical Supercross weekend is like I'd love to fly in on a Thursday night or Friday, go to press day, hang out. After the race, it's so nice to go and maybe like head out to a restaurant after and hang out with your friends, go to the little after party if there is one. I'm not so much of an after partier anymore, but I love going for dinners with my crew or my team or whatever. But it's funny, you talk to Ken Roxon and Eli Tomac and all these top guys and Ryan Dungey, they fly in on Saturday, maybe on a Friday for press day, fly out the night after the race. They do not stay for dinner. They do not stay a night in the hotel. They are at home sleeping in their own bed. That is how grueling and rigorous their program is, and they need the best sleep possible because they get one day off and they got to be back, in the gym or on the track training all week, and they got to be at home. They want to be in bed. They don't want to, take that risk and get a crappy sleeping in a hotel or, whatever. Like, they are back on their programs the second they are off that track. Like, it's crazy. It's incredible. I remember hearing that they fly home the night after the race, and I couldn't believe it. But that just goes to show what, how dedicated that they really are and what level you need to be on to be a champion. It's crazy. People don't see that kind of thing. They think it's all fun and games. They think they live this rock star life, or it's after party, after pre-party, and popping bottles on the podium. But no, that's really not. People only see what they want to see and what Instagram and social media shows, but they don't see the whole backstory and the rigorous, grueling program that these athletes are on. It's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. So we got a couple of minutes, but I want to talk 250s. I mean, Christian Craig, it's not a name you normally see up on top of the box.
What a great night for Christian Craig. I had tears in my eyes just seeing his, emotional journey and, seeing the emotions run through on the podium with him and his wife, sharing a moment on the podium there. Unfortunately, his little son was at home, Jagger, and wasn't there again, but he said he's doing this for his son. Last year he was working construction. I don't know if anybody has seen his scar. He broke his back and he has this thick scar down his back. Like it's crazy. He's suffered a lot of injuries. Kind of went back, regrouped, said this sport is not worth the risk. It's not what he wants to do, and having a family change. And it's funny, most people have a family and say, okay, I'm done doing all my crazy stuff and hanging out my boots, selling the motorcycle. That's the stereotypical way of thinking where, Christian had a family and learned that he doesn't want to show his son that he gave up and he quit. Like, he wants to do this and race for his son and be a champion for his son. Like, how inspiring and cute is that? Like, that is amazing. Like, that is such a cool story. And he is becoming a fan favorite, him and his little family. And it was so amazing to see. I'm so happy for him. But, he never got that race handed to him. I mean, the pressure was on. Him and Cooper were battling for that top spot, and Cooper cracked under pressure. It wasn't a bike failure. It wasn't something else. Cooper could not deal with the pressure, fell over in a corner, charging, and the race was Christian. It was very clean, and it just goes to show that he is the top guy out there right now, and I think he's going to be given Cooper a run for his money for the rest of the year. It's been great racing. I'm proud of him. What a great weekend for him.
Yeah, literally. I mean, Webb and Savachi are tied. We've got Craig 11 points back. I mean, 250 West is a shootout. With not much time to go. But hey, we got to take a short commercial break. We come back. We got a few minutes to wrap up. You gonna hang out on the line?
Oh, heck yeah.
All right, sounds good. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Ami Houde here. We're going to wrap things up for today's show. Episode number 1 of national syndication. I don't know, episode 200 and something of the show, but love having you along for the ride, Ami.
Yeah, and again, thank you so much for having me a part of this. It's so fun to spend a Tuesday talking all things two wheels, Supercross, and what's going on in my racing world. It's really exciting, and I just love being able to reach the fans and kind of talk to a new demographic and, the four-wheel side. And I'm just excited to get in something four wheels. Like, I either want to drive your truck, drive, another RZR right now, because it's been quite a while. But I get all excited when I hear your Dirtfish Rally commercials. Like, I need to get down there and learn how to rip a rally car. It's on my bucket list. Like, can we make this happen, please?
Well, I just literally got a message yesterday or over the weekend from Andy at First Form, and he's like, dude, I want to go to Dirtfish. And I'm like, we got to set this up. So I need you to give me his email address. I said I'll reach out to him, and we'll jump on an three-way email or something.
We should go together, like me, Andy, because I want to school him in a car, because it would would just be awesome. And then I would never let him live it down. But we should do like a first forum weekend and get a couple of the guys out and ladies out there and go rip some cars.
Yeah, they would love.
We gotta do it before Sal has his baby, because I know that, you know, all this. It's like such a build-up before you have a kid. Like, you need one last adrenaline kick of the can before your life completely changes. So we should get all his nerves and frustration taken out on the track.
Yeah, for sure. And so yeah, you're heading to Supercross. You got your ride day. We're gonna have you at the UTV World Championship doing a little radio. And yeah, we got a stacked couple of weeks here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show.
It's going to be great, and I'm really excited. We get to chat live when I'm in California next Tuesday. I'm going to have my friend Kyle DeMello on. He's a freestyle motocrosser from Canada, living down in California right now. But he's going to be helping me flip again this weekend. We're Monday or Tuesday, one of those days, where we're going to be going out to Fitzgerald's foam pit and doing some flips again. So yeah, we'll be able to chat live with him and kind of see what's going on. I know he's been training for X Games. He wants to be the first Canadian to make it to X Games, and he's got a lot of cool projects on the way. So we'll chat with him.
Awesome.
It's fun to have people on live, because then we can just like really be goofs and hit it out of the park.
Yeah, for sure. Got to give a shout out to Polaris RZR, General Tires, Subaru, MTX, KC Highlights, Terracross, Gibson, Blue Water Resort and Casino, Dirtfish. Follow at Jim Beaver 15, at Ami Houde 71, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.
See ya.